something very similar to the basic process, which is electrolysis,
Oh, yeah.
and something very similar to HHO, but what some people called HH2 because it's pure hydrogen separated during electrolysis.
Now, I have the same goal that y'all have, I'm just going a different route.
Yeah.
I actually have in that building everything you need for 80% of people in America to drive to work, as long as they got an 80-mile range, but it doesn't the same one. And that's my goal. And my goal right now, before I retire, before I ride off into the sunset, thinking I've made my contribution to mankind, is I'm going to drive across the state in one day 600 miles off Sunday morning.
All right.
Now, if I do that, I've made my contribution to mankind. Now, again, I have to admit, I'm not going to tell you it's cost addition, but I still believe, just like the Model T Ford,
Somebody will make it
it'll get better and more efficient and better and better.
Probably the Japanese, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, yeah. Now, would your college be willing to sponsor an HHO event, or, you know, a hydrogen event, not HHO, hydrogen event?
I gotta see one of them first,
Okay.
that I can empirically through research, that's another word I understand, works.
Right.
Because I got reamed out on the internet about 2 weeks ago because I said that I was doing this, and then when I wrote it back saying, I hadn't got the results yet, then I was a hero again.
No, it's-
I get, fellas, please understand, I'm not knocking it, I wanna see it work, and I want it to work. I'm on your side, I just hadn't been able to do it yet.
Well, and one of the reasons why we keep getting erratic, you know, results and readings is because we are working on cars that are designed to fight against us, okay? And that's really why, you know, I mean, for the last year after coming back from Russia, I've been working on the hydrogen because that's where my focus was. And then I came up against this brick wall. All my data was from 1976, 77, 78. So I was old school. I was working with cars that didn't have any electronics on it. So I had to, my whole focus was, well, the electronics are the issue. And so that's why I started delving into that. And that's why, you know, we came up with the you know, the 8-sensor board, because unless you can stabilize the newer cars, okay? I mean, let's face it, we're not gonna be like Cuba driving around in 1955 Chevys, okay? I mean, come on, well, maybe we will be, but, you know, you know, maybe the newest car is the 2008. But, you know, the reality is that we work on cars that are going to have computer modules, that are going to, you know, I talked to some people, you know, that took me out to dinner and they said, well, how if we strip the whole engine of all the electronics? I said, great, then we'll all be arrested. So let's get, you know, let's have a reality check. The cars that we have today, you have to look at what we have today and how can we make that car accept the hydrogen, the magnets, the xylene, the, you know, the thermal, whatever you're doing to your engine, and keep consistent results. The only way we have found, and it's, and like I said, I don't know if you guys noticed, I'm like a sponge. My ears are in every direction, and, you know, because, you know, what we found is that if you set parity in your engine, which means the top 8 sensors, which we consider is the 202s, MAF, air temperature, water temperature, throttle positioning valve, and crankshaft, okay? Those are the top 8 sensors that control everything we want to do, okay? So if we can control those and keep those in parity, the computer does not freak out, all right? And why you're having the problems is because your computers are freaking. It's had 100,000 miles of telling basically floating like this, and then all of a sudden we throw hydrogen on it, and you know it's exploding in a millisecond, and it's used to 50 milliseconds. So that's why, you know, and also it's a lot of it is the oxygen. I would love to take my oxygen and throw it away, okay, and just use the hydrogen and get rid of the brown gas mentality, and because the systems that we work on are designed to measure oxygen. We throw that extra oxygen into the engine, and that is the first big flag in your computer. Hey, I'm getting 10 times more oxygen than I've ever had in the last 100,000 miles. If you think that doesn't freak out your computer, you're wrong, okay? I haven't seen one car, well actually, the Toyota pickup truck that has wideband O2 sensors can take a little bit of hydrogen, but even that can't take, you know, the wideband sensors are better than the narrowband that we have in America. But really, you know, let's say, okay, you know, the hydrogen hydrogen works. You put it on an old car, you detune the timing, you're there. I mean, you're getting excellent mileage. I mean, in '76, we had a full-size Ford van with a 6-cylinder getting 55 miles to the gallon. So, I mean, you know, it's not that it hasn't been done. It's all this stuff's been done. But the new electronics are what the area that really has to have a handle on.
Have you gotten any results, any feedback from SMAC about the Cadillac that he did that massive SMAC booster install on? Did they have any?
I can give an update. Who's familiar with the SMAX booster? A lot of folks here has followed it. He came up with a simple shared bath booster that works pretty well. It's fairly efficient,
Right.
and it's easy to build. You use switch plates and PVC. The other day, you know, he came, at the show, he had a Cadillac all set up. They just set it up for the show, and so they didn't do a lot of testing with what they call the 6-pack SMAC. So they put 6 in combination. So he was getting 6 times 1 liter, because let's average it out, about 6 liters per minute on this big Cadillac. They did some testing. They didn't really have a lot of success with the Cadillac, but he did the same thing with his Ford Ranger pickup truck, like an 80s Ford Ranger. He called me up. He was elated. This was about a month and a half ago. And he said, Larry, I got an 88% improvement. I can't believe it. I'm the happiest. I think I can get more. And he put a battery pack in the back, and he ran off the batteries. So it was a hybrid type system, because that's what he was trying to say.